this is Aaron Memmott with Finance of America. I'm actually with Eric Archuleta. He is a client of ours that came to us because he had started the process with, as everyone knows, Rocket Mortgage. You know, it's been the most advertised mortgage company for the longest time, and we've heard nothing but horror stories for so long, and I got to actually witness what they've done. So what they did is they qualified the client on a program that he didn't qualify for because he made too much money. And you know what? 3 weeks into the process, he didn't realize that everything they sold him on wasn't true. So then I got the opportunity to take a look at your file, let him know that all the stuff that they promised you was not true. I mean, what did they do to you? What did they tell you?
Yeah, I mean, they basically, we went through the application process. You know, they guaranteed me, you know, a 3% loan, FHA, you know, the kind of the works, and essentially getting 3 weeks into it, as you mentioned, you know, come to find out, you know, wasn't qualified because the income that I made was too much. Basically, on top of that, the amount that they were quoting up front for cost of loan, you know, to originate and things like that were incorrect. So basically, I got a call 3 weeks into this process to basically be told that all the numbers you originally worked up that we thought were accurate are completely wrong, and we're gonna rework them, and they're not far off, but you know, they were far off. We're talking $8,000 in closing costs off. They offered a 1% rebate towards closing, but they also charged me 1% to process the loan in itself. So it was a wash. So there was no benefit to even that process.
You know, it's interesting when you have a family like you have a young family, you and your wife, you sell your house, you got some people really excited to buy your house, and then you go make an offer on a new house to come to find out that the program that you needed required $8,000 more money down. Not closing costs, right, just down for the program within itself.
Right.
So what did you learn about this $500 today?
Yeah, so today I found out too that there's a $500 charge for what they say is services provided. And just to keep in mind too, as I mentioned to you, they didn't rate lock me. They gave me a pre-approval based on credit. So it's, you know, you can go to a car dealership and get a pre-approval based on credit.
Right.
So a lot of what they did was very preliminary, but yet they upfront charged me $500. They said wasn't going to be charged. The credit card that they took from me was simply for the purpose of potential appraisal when we get to that time. However, they're saying now it's more for services provided and a potential deposit. And again, I wasn't aware of it. So we're working through that process now. Even though we're not technically working with them, I'm still having to deal with them at this point.
So they even quoted you a rate that didn't even exist, right?
Correct.
You know, then we noticed on the property taxes, just on the payment, they actually quoted them $100 less per month to the penny, just to let them know that your payment's going to be this much money to try to gather his information in your business.
Right.
You know, we've heard this horror stories of online lenders, and most realtors, or all realtors that I've ever seen, actually prefer not working with them because you're just a number to them.
Mm-hmm.
The guy that takes your application gets paid for taking your application, and then it goes to another division.
Yep.
And they get paid to gather your information. So that's just got to be mind-boggling, stressful, because we already know shopping for a house is the fun part. It's the financial part that stresses people out,
right?
And they make it worse.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't an easy one. So
this is our second transaction we've done over the last 5 years, hasn't it been?
Yes, This is the second one.
So what was it like working with a local lender?
It was good. You know, especially having history working with you guys prior, it was pretty quick. You know, I think the time to get somebody in your office, or, you know, emails back and forth, transaction as far as documents needed to close, things like that, were super quick and easy. Had one person to talk to versus that quick, and as you mentioned, I think I talked to, probably in that 3 week time frame, was at least 4 to 5 different people. And again, nothing in that process was completed. So it was very interesting. I think within a week we were pretty much had everything to your guys' office, and pretty much everything was completed at that point. And
we
really
closed in 3 weeks.
Right, really was just waiting on the rest of it to close. Correct.
That's good. You know, that's the whole thing about these online lenders. You know, local lenders, we work with you one-on-one. We answer our phones 7 days a week. We make sure the transaction ends with a hug and a handshake, really. Yeah. So I'm going to ask you for a Zillow review. I'm working towards 100. I think I got 75 5-star reviews on Zillow right now. You know, and I just want to say thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Can't wait to see the house on Saturday.
No problem.